Hello, wonderful people. Welcome to Teach Crest International. I'm your host, Ruth Kerubo. In case you're new here, karibu sana. Yes, so we are on part 2 of red flags. Yes. So, what I'm saying is that red flags are not necessarily deal breakers. And they're not necessarily flaws. Yes, so you need to have a heart of discernment to know what is a red flag to you and what's a deal breaker for you. Like for me, I know the deal breaker is if someone uses an abusive language. No, like the way I was raised, for example, I never knew about even Matusi at all until I was in class 2. Yes, after we had transitioned to another location courtesy of work. This even for the first time that I heard the word Egesagane. Yeah, to mean uncircumcised girl. So it's the first time that I even had Mabi to mean feces, stool. So when I find someone, for example, uses that language which is abusive, even if they're addressing their friends, I tend to cringe. I'm like, because it's foreign to me, you understand? So it's the same thing even for you. Whatever you consider a deal breaker sometimes will make you be like, that's now not how things are done. You'll not even, it will not sit well with you at all. Yeah, you will find yourself calling out the person. Yeah, so for me, when I find even someone is calling their friends like Amavi or Umoisioyo, I find it so weird. Yeah, and that's what's supposed to happen. For you to detect the red flag, it means your red flag detector must be wiped. It should be clear so that you can have clarity to discern that this is not how things are supposed to be. So yeah, so just to continue from where we left, what do? The other thing is knowing your worth. And about knowing your worth, you need to know it's not attached to some body parts, especially those concerned with the reproductive health, reproduction, the vagina, the penis. Now it's not attached to that. So if you find someone is like, if you love me, send me maybe a nude. If you love me, let's have sex. And it feels so gross to you, then that's a big red flag. Yeah, so you need to really know your value. And yeah, you're enough, you're complete even as a person without anyone coming in. Yeah, you're very much complete. You need to have your self-esteem up so as to detect, because if you have a low self-esteem, even the perpetrator finds it easy to make you their prey. Yeah, you become a victim and you don't realize it because you're partly enabling it because you have a low self-esteem. What else? You don't know anything else about it. Yeah, thing is about knowledge. People die or perish due to lack of knowledge. Do everything possible to acquire as much knowledge as possible and apply it. It's not enough to read many books, attend seminars, go for therapies if you don't apply that knowledge. That knowledge is for you. It's supposed to empower you to make informed decisions. Yeah, you even need to have knowledge about sexual health. You need to know how healthy relations look like. You need to know how communication looks like. Yeah. So invest in knowledge. Yeah, knowing what pleasure is and how you can derive pleasure. You can actually derive pleasure even from, okay, or is it orgasmic pleasure from then your lips, from your genitalia. So know where you get this pleasure from. Yeah, also get to know about your partner or your friends. That knowledge helps you to make informed decisions. Yeah. Is get to learn, have a teachable spirit, so that right from a tender age you're even able to learn about rejection. How do you handle rejection? Most people have been raised in a situation whereby if I say, let's say I want a toy, it is delivered immediately. You just do tantrums and it's delivered. You just do this and it's done, pop, because people will be like, I don't want to do what our parents, the former generation, used to do. So you want to change a bit, but let's do it with the limits. Because when you create an imaginary world that everything that you seek, it's got instantly, yeah, that's not the reality. You're doing more good than harm. Because this person will be told maybe they are seeking out maybe a lady, or yeah, right nowadays even girls hit on men, and maybe someone says no, and you're not able to take that no because you are like, why? I'm used to seeking things and they happen my way, so why not this time? So we need to learn to accept no and to deal with it. Alternatively, get to even ask questions. So why are you saying no? Is it that you don't like maybe my complexion? You don't like what? So that it can even help you to improve. There is a reason as to why they say no. Maybe it's not even about you, it's about them. They're not ready. They don't have that capacity. So, yeah, let's learn to accept no. Otherwise, we shall have a lot of real people here even doing revenge because you told them no. So they'll be hitting on you, and you'll be thinking, wow, this person has been consistent, and you want to reward that. And for them, perhaps they're interpreting you playing hard to get, which is not the reality. And now when you give them a chance, kumbe they were just hit and run, which is very unfortunate. And you find we have a lot of children who are products of those revenge missions and hit and run, and I don't think it's nice. So we need to be able to know, yeah, red flag. So when someone is not able to take a no for a no, there is a problem for sure. Another thing, we need to model. It's not enough to say we are going to teach, or the way I'm delivering this content. I think the best method, the message will be relayed, is how do I model? How are my relationships all together? You see, sometimes we are even the toxic people, for sure, and we need to admit and start changing for the best and start modeling the best behavior. If you want a peaceful and family, you want love, you want care, you have to first pursue it, so that when you're teaching others, you're not only just a teacher but a literal coach. Someone who has been there, has lived there, can relate, and has gone far and beyond to soar to the greatest heights. Yeah, to something that is admirable. You understand? So we need to be modeling the best behaviors. Yeah, and we also need to mentor others. It's not enough for us to be shouting blah 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 blah, he did this, she did that, he is this, she is that. We need to start mentoring people. So who are you mentoring? It's not enough for us to make noise. We need to make relevant noise, and while at it, not only lead from the front, but also mentor other leaders who can uh, preach the gospel, the saving gospel. Yeah. Also, notice, be observant to notice how a person treats another person even in your presence. For example, you're in a car, someone is driving and they are like, kumbaf. Trust me, you're the next person. You won't be going around and telling people, that person was trying to do ABCD and he said, you know what, kumbaf, because he was trying to protect me. No. It sounds weird and stupid for that matter. So, you need to be really observant. Because if you're not the victim today, tomorrow you'll be one. You're actually being groomed. Yes, trust me. So if someone is of possessive, they are nagging for even the little things, very minute things. The criticism, what comes from the mind, even the non-verbal cues will tell you more. Actually, people say little than how they express it non-verbally. Does someone have too much anger? How do they handle? Do they have even the emotional intelligence? Are they patient? These are things that you need to be asking yourself on a serious note. Yeah. So get to observe this person's character. Do they honor time? Because if they don't respect time, what makes you think they'll respect you? If they're lying even to the boss that they're at work, yet you're with them, maybe in a hotel, that should raise a red flag, because next time you'll be asking this person just for accountability, where are you? And you will still doubt their whereabouts because you're used to them lying where they are. So let's be careful, and that's why I'm saying let's model the best behavior. If you stand for honesty, like for me, I believe in saying the truth and the absolute truth, no matter how much it pains. Just say the truth, it will set you free. Because for me, I don't even have time to come and defend a lie. Yeah, so just say the truth. Look at that. Look at how one comes in. Do they even say sorry, or they just live in their own world? So those are some of the things you need to look into, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing is pray into faith and not fear. Actually, most people fear even coming out of toxic relationships, even especially if it involves siblings and parents, because people will be guilt tripping you, blessings come from parents, or parents should be da 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 da. But it's a two traffic way. Yeah, if for example parents are to be obeyed, it also means they should not provoke their children. Ephesians 6, just continue it down. So let's not even be using the Bible to suit our needs only. We need to read in whole, not just in parts. Yeah, and connect. Because the scriptures are there for our own good, to rebuke, to teach, to all those things. You have learned them. So engage your brain. So even you need to change your prayer points from, oh God, change so and so. Sometimes it should be just like I like the serenity prayer, because ask God to even change you. Perhaps you're the one who needs the change more than the other person. Yeah, so let's pray into faith, and whereby we know faith is the hope for things not seen. Yeah, and having conviction it's going to happen. For example, you want a good relationship, a good marriage, pray for it. Instead of praying from a point of fear. Yeah, another thing, prioritize yourself. Priorities. So in us we have a tendency of people pleasing, and it's not a nice tendency. So it's good if we could be prioritizing, yes, our peace, what makes us happy. Yeah. Mm. Because um one red flag I can tell you for sure, if it reaches a point whereby you know you over prioritize others over your needs. For example, you have not even paid your rent, but you're paying for someone's rent. Doesn't make sense. You'll be thrown out, they're there. Mm. So also learn to prioritize yourself and your sanity. Mm. Sometimes people are like, let me just stay here because of the children. Children who will hit 18 and leave you. Yeah. And they will ask you, why did you, by the way, stay? You should have left. You'll be shocked if you get to tell them the truth, or even from them observing. They're like, you should have fled long time ago. So yeah, let's prioritize ourselves. You know, sometimes it even comes to career. And there was this story someone was asking, um like she had done accounting, and she was in Nairobi, then the boyfriend was in Mombasa. So the boyfriend requested her to go to Mombasa because to cement the long distance relationship. Then, because she had lied to the mother that she was going to look for a job, so she was living with another girl. So you see, you've been looking for a work, you have not got. So the mom told her to go back so that her father could take her back for CPS to enhance that um, Bachelor of Accounting. Yeah. Then when she told the boyfriend, he was not pleased with it. So he was like, perhaps you won't come back, or you don't want this relationship. And now the other dilemma is that the lady herself wanted to go to Nairobi to look for work. So she was seeking advice. What would she choose? Whether to remain with the boyfriend for the relationship's sake, or to go back, or go to Nairobi. What I will say is that prioritize yourself, prioritize your goals. And I can tell you for free, sometimes we self sabotage our ambitions and goals. Yeah. And we need to sit down and ask ourselves, what if it was the other person's in your shoes? What would have they done? Do you know there are people even who will be traveling, let's say, to abroad? Yeah, wanaenda majuu, and they would hide it from you. You just come to ring them one day and it's like, yeah, we have such individuals. So that means prioritize your dreams, because there are people who will not even look back. Yeah. And that's why I've been saying, chase your goals, chase your dreams. Because I'm looking at an instance, maybe they were in their honeymoon phase, and somehow she has rose colored glasses, so she's not able to see beyond that lovey thing. But now reality will dawn, and the man can decide to ask you, by the way, you should have chosen your career, you should have done something for yourself, because now bills have to be paid, and feeding more than one mouth sometimes can be difficult in this economy. So choose, make good decisions. Yeah. Is to question the status quo. Ask questions. Why are things done the way they are? Why do we every time have to ask someone that or remind them that the man is the head of the family, a woman is the neck, blah blah blah. The Proverbs 31 woman, because that one has killed so many people if you're not keen. So let's get to question. Let's get even to sit in those sermons. Mama, sneer. Yes, let's raise the questions. And I'm not asking you to be a toxic feminist or male chauvinist, no, or a misogynist. Yeah. So you do it in a calm manner. Ask questions, get to know why. Another thing that I said is raise the standard. I've already discussed that. Um, Another thing is be self-aware. There are very many ways to be self-aware, to the extent that even sometimes when you touch your body or you're holding something, it's a yes or it's a no. Imagine, that's the beauty about the sixth sense. So utilize it. Another thing is be self-aware to the extent that you love yourself and you're assertive. Also, be secure, especially financial security. So that you can be able to know that, what, I can always start afresh. As long as I'm not handcuffed, I'm going to make more even after losing. And to be honest, we cannot compensate someone even for emotional damage. Fine, if it's wealth, matrimonial, whatever, properties, they can be refunded. But what about the emotional pain? So we need to reprogram ourselves, and this starts from even telling ourselves narratives that are nourishing, narratives that are empowering, narratives that are modeling the behaviors and morals that we want to see. Instead of instilling fear, they're instilling courage, love. I mean, all those beautiful things, nobility. About unlearning things that don't deserve you, the belief systems that don't deserve uh, your attention, what isn't supportive. For example, why would you be even in a relationship with people who are not supporting your dreams? They're not even making you come closer. Instead, they make you be bitter, they make you be sad, uh, all the bad things you can imagine. You feel bad about yourself, they lower your self-esteem. Even if it's a family member, it comes to a point where you have to cut them off. Or if you can't fully cut them off, at least maintain no communication, or love them from a distance. So yes, you get to unlearn those things. You also get to understand the cycle of abuse. It starts with the slap, it progresses to shouts, hitting, threats. You all know these things. So get to understand that so that you can be able to detect. Pap, today you were shouted at, you kept quiet. So next time, remember, it will graduate. So it's up to you to understand the cycle it has started, so that you can um, do what is expected of you, and that is to make a sober decision. Another thing, who is this calling me now? So another thing is to embrace wholesomeness, knowing that you're enough, that you're are what you are meant to be, you're God's co-creator, you're wonderful, all those things. Another thing is to be able to walk out, to be bold, to walk out when it's not serving you, not the beneficiaries that you think it's supposed to serve. Yeah. So be true to yourself. Yeah, you need to, it's a hard decision, but you just get to do what is expected of you, even for filing that divorce, getting to separate. Yeah. Another thing, get to examine yourself also. Sometimes we are the toxic people, like I already said. And so you need to examine yourself the moment that you even tell someone, you know what, uh you're not even that cute like you think, or I'm dating you out of pity. I think it's cruel. Yeah. Because they will be like, I didn't even ask you to date me from that point. And that's why sometimes it's not healthy to be too vulnerable um, at the first instance, because there are those people who will be maybe empaths and they just want to make you feel better, but in the process you find they're attached to toxicity. Another thing is yearn for the best. Yes, yearn to live the life that God intended for you, to live your absolute best. Another thing is zeal, to live reality. Let's be practical. Let's not be living in the religious dogmas, societal expectations, all these things. Be true to yourself and have that zeal, the energy, to live life, and life in abundance. You understand? So, yeah, this brings me to the end of red flags. Hope you've learned something. Just drop on the comments so that I get to know what you picked, what was your takeaway today. Till next time, bye.